Hi, I'm Rob Black, Director of Platform Product Management here at Exeda. I'm here to talk to you today about the Axeda Wireless Console, a joint offering between Axeda and AT&T. The Axeda Wireless Console allows for you to manage both your wireless infrastructure and your M2M asset infrastructure. This is an exciting offering that I'm going to show you more about right now. Let's look at some slides, then we'll go into a demo.
The Axeda Wireless Console's key value proposition is to be able to simplify M2M. That is, to be able to simplify the solution for you to be able to manage your SIMs, your edge devices, and your assets together. Here we can see a representation of a business asset at the top of the screen, an edge device, or the thing that connects to the wireless network, and the SIM, or the device that maps to the billing system and the data traffic in the wireless network. The Axeda Wireless Console allows for you to manage all three of these things together. That way, for you, you can focus on your business assets, and the system will take care of a lot of the administrative tasks that today can be quite cumbersome for an enterprise. The Axeda Wireless Console allows one place to easily manage the SIM, the device, and the asset. This tool can also be used for rapid provisioning and deprovisioning of assets, can allow for you to effectively manage your wireless costs, and the solution's integration allows for secure communication between the wireless devices and the data center. Again, this is a one-stop solution for all of your M2M wireless needs. Now let's go to a demo. In our demo scenario, we're going to be representing a hospital where there are multiple business assets, in this case a portable ultrasound system and a power generator. For your business, you can imagine any of your business assets that are very expensive, potentially are mobile or move their location. As a role, we're going to play the role of the service manager, and we're going to follow three scenarios. One is to understand when scheduled maintenance is required on our device. 2, to update our firmware to the latest version, and 3, to track a stolen device. Here we are in the Axeda Wireless Console dashboard. Here we have a complete view of all our assets in the system, all our SIMs, and any alarms and alerts we might have. The Wireless Console dashboard is your entry into the wireless system. We have a very convenient search capability, as you can see with type ahead search. So for instance, I start typing numbers, I'm going to get a drop down with all the relevant pieces of data, and it searches on multiple fields. And as I type in more data, the list will slim down. Now I'm interested at the moment in all of the SIMs that are associated with our hospital scenario. So I type in hospital, click search, and here are my 3 SIMs that are associated with the hospital. These SIMs, we can see the various ID numbers that identify the SIMs. We can see that they are in fact active, what rate plan is associated with them, and a number of other pieces of data, both specific to the SIMs and metadata associated with the Exeda system itself. Now I can do a lot of things with the Axeda Wireless Console. For now, let's just see these SIMs on a map. And here we are on a map, and we can see all of our SIMs are in or really near our hospital. They're in devices, and we can zoom in and see exactly where they are. We can click on one of these and get the precise latitude and longitude, when the data was last updated, and which specific edge device we're communicating with. So the Axeda Wireless Console is a very powerful tool to allow for manipulation and viewing of all the relevant data that you might need. Now imagine we're going to our scenario, and we want to look specifically at our portable ultrasound system. So we can see on the portable ultrasound system in this view on the service dashboard in the Axeda Console, you can see all sorts of data about it. We can see status of it, that it's good when it last checked in. You can see that there are no alarms associated with it. We can see where it is located precisely on the map. And as a matter of fact, we can zoom out if we wanted to get a broader view. And we have a number of other pieces of data that are available all through this console. Now we're going to go through a scenario where maintenance might be needed. So let's imagine that maintenance needs to be performed every 100 hours on this portable console. We can see here that 97 hours have been logged on the device. And now I'm going to simulate a scenario where I have incremented the hours logged. And we can see, boom, the screen popped up dynamically. It says now 101 hours have occurred. And we can click our refresh button. And an alarm appears on the screen. Maintenance is now due. And we can actually click on this alarm to look at the specifics on the maintenance thing. We can acknowledge or escalate or close this alarm. So this is a really powerful tool where the data comes through our wireless SIM, through our edge device, right into our representation of the portable ultrasound, and now we can know to perform actions. Workflow, of course, doesn't have to be through this screen. It's probably done in some automated fashion where the devices go into a queue and then the service manager could service each of the particular devices, take them out of service, perform maintenance, and then put them back in. All right, so that was one scenario. Now another scenario is, let's imagine we've got a new version of our firmware and we want to update that firmware on our edge devices. So here we go to our software tab in the Axeda console. We're going to click to deploy packages. And of course, we've pre-configured the firmware. We've already uploaded it and tested it. And so we want to take our edge device firmware and apply it to one or more edge devices. So here we have a bunch of the available assets that we might perform it on. And we're going to select two of them that we know the firmware is out of date. Maybe those folks have called up because there's a problem, or maybe we know, from some report that those are the ones that haven't been updated. Of course, we could choose to check all of these devices and have firmware sent to everything. So we're going to add these two devices, and then we are going to click Next. And there are all sorts of things we can do in terms of updating our firmware. For now, we are going to click Finish. And we can see here that we're manually updating our firmware for specific devices. We click Deploy. And just as simple as that, we can see the status of what's going on with this firmware update. So this is a very powerful tool where firmware or other content can be sent out wirelessly to a device. All right, so now let's jump back to the asset dashboard, and we're going to go through a scenario where we're going to simulate that a device has been stolen. In this case, we have moved our device, and in reality, we've run a simulation to do that. And we're going to refresh the screen. And so now all of a sudden we'll notice that our map has repainted. And we can see that the device has a red mark, and it's actually not in the same location as it was before. We'll also see that our alarm has been set, and it says the asset is outside of the hospital perimeter. So we've been notified that our device is likely stolen. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe it's intentional. But what we've done is set up a geofence around the perimeter of our hospital. When the device has moved from it, we are alerted. So you can see how powerful the Axeda wireless integration is. We're able to do all sorts of M2M applications to allow for management of the business asset while minimizing the user's impact and need to manage the SIM. Thank you very much for your time today, and I appreciate that you've listened to our demo on the Axeda Wireless Console.